What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Synapse. Synapse is showing some really strong data. So I want to take a look at this because right now, low market cap. I think it can drop much lower, but I think this has got potential to do something because its data is really damn strong. And I'm a big proponent of using data because that's how you know if the user base is growing. That's how you know if a project has potential. So I'm going to cover the data that they're showing at the moment and why I think this is a good shout. Before I get into it, though, if you're new to the channel, these are the first 26 coins I spoke about when I made the channel. They're the first 26 coins I actually owned as well when I made the channel. Had you just put in $100 into each of these when I released videos about them, and you'd ignored them for 2 years, you'd still be in profit for 9.2k doing every single thing wrong. But if you just bought these and then sold them last year like I did when the markets were flying high, that $100 into each of them would have netted you a profit of 123k. That is a staggeringly large difference between doing the right thing and the wrong thing. Now, as I said, I sold all of these last year. These are not the coins I own anymore. If you want to see the coins I own, if you want to see my current portfolio, I share that on copymycrypto.com. On that site, I let the members know anytime I buy or sell a coin. We have tutorials set up so that anyone that's brand new to crypto can follow them and start learning about crypto and getting into crypto. I'd release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets if that interests you. Some of the members love that. Some of the members just go on to copy the portfolio that I have. And guys, look, there's a history of success here. Phantom is at the top of that spreadsheet and massively ahead of everything else. I did a Udemy course about Phantom where I said this is going to 100x. It's going to be the best investment of 2020. I said that. I said it would 100x. It did 677x. 2 grand into Phantom when I did that Udemy course would have netted you a profit of over $1.3 million. I will find another Phantom. And when I do, I'm not going to do a Udemy course or anything like that. I'm going to go onto the site. I'm going to tell the members, this is a coin I've found. This is what percentage of my holdings it's going to reflect. I think this can do X. And when I say that, the members can follow and copy along and make those crazy profits. If that interests you, go read the site. And remember, everything on the site can be checked against the YouTube channel. It's all verifiable. The link, guys, is on screen. See you there. So Synapse, currently priced at 49, well, nearly 50 cents. Market cap of 69 mil. Circulating supply is about 56%. So there's still a long way to go in terms of token release, which is why I do believe there is a decent amount this can still drop. I would not be surprised to see this get down to 20 cents, 30 cents, 20 cents. Can it do more? I think this can do at least $4, at least. So if you're unfamiliar with Synapse, it's all about interoperability. It's about being able to interact with multiple chains. It's about securely sending data between blockchains. Now, Synapse have done something pretty good, which is their bridge work. And if you're unfamiliar, over the past 2 years, bridges have been like the biggest exploit arena in all of crypto. We've seen over $500 million lost in bridge hacks over the course of the past year or the past 2 years. Bridges are quite clearly insanely susceptible. And usually that's down to either an Oracle exploit, which is effectively what a bridge is an Oracle, or it's down to the bridge itself. As you'll see, Synapse is on Coinbase, Synapse is on Kraken, Uniswap, plenty of sort of places. It isn't on the big boy, which is Binance. So there's still room for growth there because inevitably when it lands on Binance, it'll see a bump. in terms of price. Concerns for me are volume. Volume right now is really low, and I'm granted it is a Sunday. Weekend volume generally is lower, but we've not really seen great volume, particularly over the past few months. And obviously, we're going to see worse volume because we're in a bear cycle. But even when we sort of had bounces around around November, October, we weren't seeing massive volume for Synapse at any point really. Um, so that does need to be people need to bear that in mind because you do have to sell a crypto at some point. Um, so what Synapse has done is they built built based on the inspiration of CELO's optics protocol. Their whole thing is, look, multi-chain is the future. It's inevitable. Part of the reason that I've spoken about Polkadot ecosystem so often is because I do agree, like you have to have a multi-chain future. It has to happen. Um, so what Synapse have done is create generalized messaging and bridge protocols um, to make sure that these protocols are integral to their overall infrastructure. And at the moment, obviously, we've seen those areas of bridges hacked and those bridges exploited. So, um, what Synapse are trying to avoid doing is trading security for speed, because those trade-offs have resulted in the hacks that we've seen. Um, Synapse is actually part of the Arbitrum um, ecosystem, and I do believe down the line Arbitrum are, you know, probably going to end up releasing a coin. Um, and if you are ever interested, see, because there is no Arbitrum still, if you're ever interested in an airdrop, Arbitrum will end up doing that, I'm sure. And so if you utilize Synapse on the Arbitrum network, you'll actually probably end up being able to claim that airdrop. Now, what they have right now are stablecoins swaps. Now, this is a good principle because fundamentally you need to have opportunities to trade multiple different stable coins, particularly given the problems that we've seen. This does need to expand to beyond just stable coins. Um, but at the moment, that is the focus. Um, they do have staking protocols, which is pretty good in terms of liquidity pool, like getting very strong yield. I will again always point out, you've got risks of impermanent loss, so you do have to bear that in mind because there's a lot of people that have been burnt by that because they didn't understand it. Synapse Analytics. Now, this is what interests me: is the data that they've got is pretty damn good. Monthly data, and I can show daily. Um, you know, but you're seeing like on a consistent daily basis, we're seeing really strong amounts of volume coming through Arbitrum. Um, and obviously, like, it only goes up to September, which is a bit frustrating. Um, so we've got, you know, 4 million worth of volume coming through at the back end of September, which isn't bad. Well, halfway through September. But overall, the bridge volume has been massive, 11.5 billion. When you look at monthly data, obviously, um, January, had a ton of volume, like $2.5 billion came through Synapse protocol. You're seeing a lot of volume going through, and even now, September's volume was still $146 million across the month in terms of bridge. In terms of transactions as well, you're seeing month on month still pretty good numbers. Like month on month for September was 29,000 in terms of data, in terms of transactions. 29,000 again, pretty damn good. Like, so this is a pretty well used protocol. And bear in mind, again, in April, we saw 209,000 across the month. So when we've seen sort of some small market bounces or even some market crashes, we're seeing a lot of volume coming through signups. It is used. Total transaction count by chain. I think that's DeFi Kingdom. They've done 223,000 transactions. Average transaction size has been about 3K. You've seen Avalanche 150,000. Average transaction size 9K. Ethereum 107,000 transactions, but 31 grand average transaction size. So being used by people that have a lot of funds. If that's your average, so these people that are using this have a lot of money. They are big numbers. Arbitrum 31,500. So there's big numbers coming out of this, right? Big numbers. People are using this, and that to me is a um, really strong data. Really strong data. Even on monthly revenue, the protocol earned 4 million in January when there was obviously that ton. But even like this past month, or not this past month, sorry, September, but $234,000 the protocol earned in fees. They're earning good money per month, really good money. Bridge fees accrued, you know. So you're seeing a lot of money coming through in terms of um this overall protocol. Again, pool statistics, total bridge volume over the course of time, $11.5 billion. Total pool volume, over $25 billion. There's a lot of statistics here and data that shows that this is a heavily used protocol. And right now they haven't had an exploit. They've been safe. They have been heavily used by people that have a lot of money. Don't ignore this. Market cap of 70 million, but they've done $11.5 billion worth of volume on their bridge alone. This market cap does not reflect the use cases and the amount of usage that Synapse have had. And while I still think there is a lot, like this can drop down to 30 cents or down to possibly 20 cents, just because, the token still has to come out. We're still in a bear cycle. There's going to be another, a further crash at some point. So yes, Synapse is going to drop, but long term, it's being used, guys. It's being used by. I mean, average transaction size is so large for so many different chains. This is being used by people that are heavily invested into the crypto space. So they see the value in signups. Now, whether they have holdings in signups, a very different matter. But long term, the use case, the data suggests this is a real beast. $4, easy. Maybe it can do 10, honestly. Like the amount of volume that it's done over the past year has been really impressive. And its market cap is not reflective of its usage. And this is the same stuff I always try and look at with games and with dexes or whatever. Is you've got to understand, is it improving? Now, obviously, it's not improving right now because we're in a bear cycle. So you have to account for the fact the external variable that is the bear cycle. But when the markets were moving well, and even when there were significant crashes, this was used. So in another bull cycle, of course, this is going to be used. Yeah, I just don't think the market cap is reflective of those numbers. The numbers it's putting up is bloody good. It's like the Michael Jordan of stable swaps. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Do you think it's undervalued right now? Do you think it can drop more? I definitely think it can drop substantially more, and I still think it's hugely undervalued. But let me know in the comments down below. And if you're a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. You don't want to miss these videos. They will make you money. And guys, if you want to see the current holdings of my portfolio, go to copymycrypto.com. It's where I share my portfolio. I let the members know anytime I buy or sell a coin. I have tutorials set up so that anyone that's brand new to this space can watch them and get involved. If you want to make these kind of gains, 677x's, or even if that's just too aspirational, we still got 58 times gains, 62, 48, 52, 61. Huge gains. It's not fluke. Phantom was literally a Udemy course titled The Best Cryptocurrency Investment of 2020. 2 grand into Phantom would have made you a millionaire. I will find another Phantom, and when I do, the members will find out about it. And if you want to make those kind of gains, you need to be a member. So go read the site and understand that everything on the site is verifiable. You can literally go through the history of the YouTube channel and you can see that I said these things. So go have a look, guys. The link is on screen, and I will see you guys soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.